Hi my dear friends, welcome to Venus EduTech. In this video, we are going to discuss the topic Data Interpretation or DI. This is one of the most important topics that is being asked in every bank exams in both prelims and mains. So without wasting time, let's get into the video. This is one definition of data interpretation. That is, DI refers to the implementation of procedures through which data is reviewed for the purpose of arriving at an inference. Or simply we can say that data interpretation is nothing but interpreting the data. That means we are analyzing the data. For example, taking attendance in a class. It is a collection of data, right? Because in order to know the number of students present in a particular day, we are collecting that data. Another example, in a marketing company, the number of products sold in a month. That is also a data, right? And another example, in a shop, the owner, the profit gained by the owner in a particular year. That is also a data. So these are all data. Everything we look around is data. And this data can be provided in many forms, mainly in four forms, that is line graph in the form of line graphs, pie graphs, bar graphs and table graphs. See, this is an example of a line graph. This blue line, red line and green line. Blue line indicates first it is decreasing, then increasing. And this red line indicates first increasing, then decreasing, then again increasing. And this green line, it is constant, right? For a particular level, it is up to a particular level, it is constant, then it slightly increases, then again it increases at a constant rate. So this is a simple example of a line graph. We will do problems later. This is an example of a bar graph. That is, the data is provided in the form of bars. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bars are there. This is an example of a bar graph. Similarly, this is an example of a pie graph. And this is an example of a table graph. That is, data is provided in the form of table. Now, using data interpretation questions, the most important arithmetic topics that are being asked in bank exams are percentages, averages and ratio and proportion. But nowadays, due to increase in the level of competitiveness, the topics may also be related to time and work, time and distance, probability and sometimes in terms of boards and streams as well. If you know all the topics in quantitative aptitude and if you have speed with accuracy, then the most scoring section is data interpretation apart from simplification, because you are going to get 5 marks from this section. And in order to get speed and accuracy, practice every day. That is, along with your revision and studies, try to do full length mock test every day so that you will get the level of questions that are going to be asked in the actual bank exam. Let's do a problem now. This is the question asked in SBI Clerk 2016. Study the following table carefully and answer the given questions. That means this is a table graph question. The number of various crimes as supplied by National Crime Record reported in different states in the year 2012-13. That is given in the table. 8 states are given and the different crimes, that is stalking, assault, theft, murder and criminal trespass. The meanings of different crimes given in the table are here and these are obtained from the Google. Stalking means pursue or approach stealthily. Assault means a physical attack. Theft means the action or crime of stealing. Murder means the unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another. And criminal trespass means one enters into property of another with an intent to commit an offense. So in this question, the table graph provides different crimes committed by various states, right? So when a data interpretation question is given to you, first read the content and then directly go to the questions, because we have only a limited time in the exam. We can look into the questions. The first question is, the total number of various crimes in HP of Himachal Pradesh is. So from the table it is clear that various crimes are these 5, right? Stalking, assault, theft, murder and criminal trespass. So in Himachal Pradesh, what are the total number of crimes? 10,545 plus 3652 plus 12,224 plus 354 plus 10,128, right? Add all these numbers. First units place. 5 plus 2 7 plus 4 11 plus 4 15 plus 8 23. So write 3 here. Remainder 2 is there. Then tens place 4 plus 5 9 plus 2 11 plus 5 16 plus 2 18 plus that remainder 2. So 18 plus 2 it is 20. So write 0 and 2 is the remainder. Then hundreds place 5 plus 6 11 plus 2 13 plus 3 16 plus 1 17 plus that remainder 2. 17 plus 2 it is 90. So write 9 and 1 remainder. Now thousands place, it is 0 plus 3 3 plus 2 5 5 plus 0 5 and that remainder 1. So 5 plus 1 it is 6. So write 6 here. Next 1 plus 1 2 2 plus 1 3. So write 3 here. So the answer is 36,903. Option D is the answer. Okay. Second question, find the ratio of stalking and assault in UP to theft and criminal trespass in Haryana. So in Uttar Pradesh, stalking and assault. The numbers given are stalking and assault in Uttar Pradesh, it is 85 and 125. So when we add 85 and 25, it is 5 plus 5, 10, remainder 1. Then 8 plus 2, 10 plus 1, 11, remainder 1, 1 plus 1, it is 2. So the answer is 210. Here you can see that the questions are very simple. It is simplification only. So when you know how to simplify in a very less time, then this data interpretation would be more easy for you if questions like this comes. Okay. So we got stalking and assault in Uttar Pradesh. Now theft and criminal trespass cases in Haryana. In Haryana, theft case it is 257 and criminal trespass is 263. So on adding 257 and 263, you will get 520. Now the question is to find the ratio between them. That is the ratio of stalking and assault in Uttar Pradesh to theft and criminal trespass in Haryana. So 210 is to 520 or 210 divided by 520 is the answer. Here 0 0 get cancelled. So we will get 21 by 52, right? And the option is B, option B. So option B is the answer. Third question, find the approximate average of murder and theft in all the 8 states together. Murder and theft. So you have to calculate the murder and theft cases in all the states. Its average you have to find out. From the table, when you add murder cases, you will get the answer 264.625. Adding all these numbers, you will get 2117. Then you have to divide it by 8 because you are calculating the average of all the 8 states in case of murder as well as theft. So divide 2117 divided by 8, you will get 264.625. That is the average of murder cases in all the 8 states together. Now, the average of theft cases, adding all the numbers which is given in the table and dividing it by 8, you will get the answer as 1777.5. The question is to find out the approximate average of murder and theft cases, right? So approximate average of these two is 264.625 plus 1777.5 divided by these two cases, murder and theft. That is, it is written as 2. So on adding, you will get 2042.125 divided by 2, which is 1021.0625. And the question is to find the approximate average. So here after decimal point it is 0. So you can consider the number as 1021 itself, right? So the answer is option E. Option E is the right answer, 1021 or 1021, right? So it's clear that if you know how to simplify in a very less time, then these questions will be easy for you, especially data interpretation. Okay. Going to the fourth question, the total number of assaults and murders together in Bihar is what percent of the total number of crimes in that state? This question is related to the topic percentage, right? Here the options are given in percentages and the question is also to find out the percentage of the total number of crimes in that state, which is state Bihar. So the question is the total number of assaults and murders together in Bihar. So when you look at the table in Bihar, the assault case is 496 and murder case is 132. Adding these two values, you will get 628. Next, to find out the total number of crimes in Bihar. So from the table, you will get the total number of crimes in Bihar is adding all these numbers. You will get 1577. But the question is to find out assaults and murders together in Bihar is what percent of the total number of crimes in that state. That means you have to find out the percentage. And here in the question, you look carefully after of the total number of crimes in that state is written. That means you have to find out the percentage in such a way that in the numerator, the first one should be there. That is the total number of assaults and murders together. And in the denominator, after the of sentence what is written, that you have to write in the denominator. Understood? After the of word, what the words are written, that you have to write in the denominator. Here in this case, after of it is written the total number of crimes in that state. So that number you should write in the denominator. And in the numerator, this one, the total number of assaults and murders together, that is before the of word. Okay, understood? Then into 100. That means required percentage is equal to 628. This one, assaults and murders together in Bihar, divided by, after of it is written the total number of crimes, and that is 1577. Then required percentages. So finally multiply it with 100. So you will get 39.82, and option B is the answer. Fifth question, find the difference between the number of various crimes committed in Bihar and that in Rajasthan. From the previous question, you got the total number of crimes committed in Bihar, that is 1577. That means in this question, you can save time in calculating this one because you already got in the previous question as 1577, right? So the number of various crimes committed in Bihar, it is 1577, and you have to find out the number of various crimes committed in Rajasthan. So from the table, the crimes committed in Rajasthan will be this. These are the values we obtained from the table, and on adding all these values, you will get the answer as 1432, 1432. And the question is to find the required difference between these two. That means you have to subtract 1577 and 1432. So on subtracting, you will get the answer as 145. Option C is the answer. Here you can do mental calculation subtracting. How? 7 minus 2, it is 5 units place. Then tens place. 7 minus 3, it is 4. Then 5 minus 4, it is 1. And 1 minus 1, it is 0. So these are the 5 questions from this table asked in SBI clerk. And there are 2 more questions that we will discuss in the next video, because if I add those questions to this video, then it would be more lengthy. So I will explain it to you in the next video. Okay, that's all for today's video. I hope you understood the basics of data interpretation, how to deal data interpretation questions, and here it is an example of a table. And in the other 2 questions, there will be one table and one pie. I will explain it. And here, as I said, if you know simplification, then it would be easy for you, especially in case of clerical exams and RRB assistant exams. As the RRB assistant is coming, you practice more. Data interpretation would be there, definitely there, and simplification, more questions from simplification will be definitely there. Practice more. If you find this video useful, if you understood the concept of data interpretation, then please share it with your friends who are preparing for bank exams. And please do support my channel by subscribing, and also in order to get notification of my latest videos, press the bell icon as well. See you in the next video with another part of this data interpretation. Till then, have a good day and thank you.